The Haunting, released in 1999, represents a bold, big-budget reimagining of one of horror's most enduring haunted house stories. Directed by Jan de Bont, the film trades psychological restraint for grand spectacle, transforming Hill House into a massive and aggressive presence filled with elaborate production design and overt supernatural threats. Rather than relying on suggestion or ambiguity, The Haunting pushes its horror into the open, emphasizing destiny, trauma, and visual excess. Despite its derisive reception, the film remains a fascinating entry in haunted house cinema, often revisited as a case study in how scale and spectacle can fundamentally reshape the genre's emotional impact.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of So You Like Horror. That's probably not how it should be said, but I say it how I want because, whatever. So this week on the episode, we are going to actually talk about a movie that's connected to the last episode that we had. So I sat with Manuel and his wife, Alicia, and we talked about The Haunting of Hill House, which is based off of the book by Shirley Jackson. So I was like, well, I know that there's two movies based off of that work as well, both being titled The Haunting, one from 1963 and one from 1999. So I was able to find the 1999 one because that's on Paramount Plus, where I watched UFC fights. Don't got to pay $85 for that no more. And we sat down and watched my lovely wife, Sarah Beth, and I, who's also going to be joining me today. So for this episode, Sarah Beth and I will be talking about the 1999 film, The Haunting, which that movie, when it came out, it came out during a weird period of horror because we were coming off of our franchises and our spectacles, and then horror kind of bounce back when you get your meta horror with Freddy's New Nightmare or Wes Craven's New Nightmare, and then Scream, and I Know What You Did Last Summer, and all these things are happening. Horror starting to move again in the mainstream, and then we get The Haunting, and with The Haunting we got a bigger budget, we got CGI, and we got this push towards prestige. Visuals and everything had to be big and grand and spectacle and bullshit like that. So all of that mattered more, and they kind of cared more about that than restraint or control. They're just like, fucking make it big, like that Aerosmith album, make it big. And for The Haunting, they got the guy who directed Speed. So I had to listen to a video to learn how to say the dude's name, because contrary to what y'all may want to believe, I don't know no fucking directors' names, especially this guy's name. So Jan de Bont.
Jan de Bont.
Get at me, son.
That's
See, because I listened to that video over and over and over and over. But the problem with listening to the video is I heard how he said it, the Dutch dude. Mm-hmm. But as I'm looking at it, I'm like, yeah, but it looks like something else. So that something else got stuck in my head. So anyhow, Jan de Bont, he directed The Haunting, but he also directed Speed. He directed Twister. He was the cinematographer for The Hunt for Red October, Die Hard, and Basic Instinct. So,
he did things.
He worked.
Right.
He worked. He knows how to do movies, apparently. So yeah, you get this feel for the blockbuster mindset kind of baked into this movie because of him. That's what they're going for. So gothic horror in this instance is not very quiet or suggestive. As we see today, it's loud. It's spectacle and it's overwhelming. And even though it's loosely inspired by Shirley Jackson's The Haunting of Hill House, the film does make some major thematic changes, moving away from the psychological uncertainty and more into the effect-driven version of what Hill House is. So that's kind of how they make it work. So it really does kind of give you this question of, like, for the movie, is The Haunting more of a misunderstood gothic tragedy or a cautionary tale about spectacle overpowering story? So, that's where we kind of sit with this.
Okay. I mean, so with Shirley Jackson's original novel, which, kind of took a hint towards like psychological ambiguity and interior horror, because, novels have to describe everything as opposed to where everything is visual in a movie or TV show. That's where that's where I kind of love reading, is where you get that meat of the details and you get to picture it in your own head. And then when you get to see it on film, you go, did the director and them see it the same way I did? Or are they going to change it up? Anyway, that's just fun for me as the reader.
I felt that with The Hunger Games.
Oh, yeah.
Even though I watched the movie first and read the book, while reading the book, I could see that
you could see right, where they took different points.
But then Catching Fire, I read the book before seeing the movie. And then when I saw the movie, it was the same thing. It all felt like, okay. Yeah. Now the third one, I was just like, I actually never finished the third book. And then I don't even think I finished because they split the last movie up into two, or the last book into two movies. I didn't finish the fourth movie. Because, I don't care.
Okay. It's okay.
Fuck
That's
them.
all right. We're just going to move on, though.
Who wrote that? Suzanne Collins?
Yes.
Fuck her.
That's not very polite.
Sorry.
But we're going to talk about Shirley Jackson.
Actually, I'm sorry. She wasn't wrong. Actually, she was okay. It was the director.
It wasn't. She didn't make the movie. Yeah,
she
just
cool.
wrote the
she
books.
Was cool.
Yeah,
she was cool.
Yeah.
Fuck that dude, though.
Sometimes people have a vision and they want to, veer things their way. And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. But anyway, so I was talking about her psychological ambiguity and in the interior horror about things, and where the novel's not really trying to scare you like straight out.
Yeah.
But it just kind of slowly starts like having things creep in towards you as you get through, chapter by chapter and stuff like that. Fear, of course, comes from suggestion. Oh, we both did it. Instead of like, and from doubt, because that's always a good slow burn in books and everything. Well,
makes you question yourself.
Oh yeah, you got a lot of things going on. Hold on, let's see. There we go. That's better. Haha. Sorry, new glasses. I'm still adjusting to reading and stuff. So notes. But anyway, the 1963 film, of course, understood that as you leaned into things like using restraint and sound design, make Hill House, of course, feel more threatening without having to spell things out like you would in a novel. So again, the visuals take over things. Music adds to things, because the music sets it like an overtone or an undertone.
I guess
it kind of, because
it could do either or.
You can hear a sound that they give you, ominous tones, and you go, "Uh-oh, something's about to happen." It kind of sets the pace for things. And then you have the 1999 version that doesn't do that. It just, does everything completely opposite, and everything is visible, like all the ghosts, all the threats. The architecture is super aggressive and in your face. I mean, if garish was a thing visually, that's the definition right there. Like,
well, even
opulence.
As the story, as you look at the visuals in itself, the setting, it's
just the setting itself, just the house.
Yeah.
Like everything else before, the house is just like ornate as fuck.
Yeah.
But so anyway, so like everything is just like very aggressive in your face. The evil, of course, is clearly defined as like, your this one main character that's the owner of the house, the builder of the house. And of course, there's no question as to whether Hill House is haunted anymore. Like the movie basically removes that question, and it tells you very directly that the house itself is evil because of Crane. So.
Well, yeah, they make that, like, again, with the book, it kind of makes it very ambiguous. Whereas like the movie is like the movie almost kind of treats the audience like we're dumb.
Well, I mean, they also have to move the story along, too. So they have to tell it in so many words quickly.
Well, yes.
But this is a very simplistic movie, too, in a way. It's like good for like...
For 1999.
For 1999. I mean, nowadays it'd be great, like, middle schoolers. Like, man, it was wicked cool. Like,
Like, yeah, when we talk about like kid-friendly horror, and I'm not saying this is kid-friendly, but it's a horror where you can show like a 12-year-old, whereas like
12 to 14,
nudity, like, there's Luke. Or not, yeah, well, Luke the character, but Owen Wilson playing Luke. It's weird because his brother's name is Luke.
I know. Yeah.
Because when like we were watching it and you said like great job with Luke, and I was like, no, that's Owen. Like, oh, wait a minute. It's actually Luke in the show.
This is
but like he makes some kind of sexual suggestive comments towards
some
Thea,
minor ones,
but it's nothing crazy. Where it's like you show it to like a 12-year-old, they watch the movie, they could still watch the movie and enjoy it without anything weird.
The kids see and hear way worse in fucking school than that. So that's I'm sure
mild. But if I'm showing my child something, I'm not thinking, oh, my kid here is far worse at school, so let me show them, Freddy Krueger like, decapitating someone. Like,
well, it was tastefully done.
The decapitation?
Yeah, that one.
No, it wasn't.
Why? There wasn't blood splurting everywhere or anything like that.
Oh, no, I'm talking about Freddy Krueger. I'm not talking about Freddy. I'm talking
about this one.
Yeah, I'm not there.
Oh, okay. Apologies.
But yeah, so anyhow, I'll go into the plot a little bit. We got 3 acts, so I'll talk about Act 1 a little bit. Not really going into like super duper detail because you know me, I don't remember shit very well. And even though I have notes here, I'm all over the place. But we open up the movie with Nell, Eleanor, and she's basically meeting with she's like talking with her sister, maybe.
Yes.
And family members, and it just basically sounds like her life. She's a caregiver, so someone just died in the family that she's been caring for, and there's kind of this moment of uncertainty.
It was their mother.
It was the mother?
Yeah.
I just felt like it was the grandfather. I don't know.
No, it was the mother. She like her whole life, she would bang on the walls in the middle of the night for somebody to help her get up to go to the bathroom.
Sounds like Hill House.
And it was always her that did it. So the sister just had her own fucking life.
Yeah, that's
just
some bullshit.
She's a pissed sister. But anyway, you only see her for like the first 5 minutes anyway.
Yeah, she's the chick from Candyman, though. Always like her eyes. Virginia Madsen. Is it Madsen or Martson?
I don't know, but she plays a bitch in this movie. And her kid's an asshole.
Hey.
What?
Put some respect on her name.
I did. I said she was a bitch.
She's a sweet lady. Bitch. She's a sweet lady.
I don't know her personally. I can't say she's sweet. I said her character was a bitch.
I don't know. Just like she has really pretty eyes.
Okay, good for her.
Don't do that. Don't do it. Not in front.
I didn't look long enough.
Not in front of company.
In front of company? Who?
I don't know.
So what about Act 1?
Anyhow, Act 1. So basically, you meet Nell and her shitty family, but really moving along, you end up meeting Dr. Merrill, who serves as the antagonist of this story. He's a sleep researcher who secretly conducts unethical fear experiments, and he wants to do this inside Hill House under the guise of his clinical insomnia study. And it's really just an excuse to get a handful of strangers into Hill. See, just like last episode, I keep wanting to say Hell House. You know what it is though? It's fucking Scary Movie 2. Because every time while I'm watching this fucking movie, all I kept thinking about was Scary Movie 2. Every fucking scene was Scary Movie 2.
Every freaking scene. And it's literally he sat down, probably high as fuck, and wrote that shit while watching this movie.
Like every scene, it was just like, oh my god, that's Scary Movie. That's Tori Spelling
and
right there.
then they just added some jokes and shit in.
That's Anna Faris right there. It's just all these goofy things. Anyhow, he wants to get a bunch of strangers in Hill House, whatever. Y'all know what I mean.
In the house,
and he want to make sure that they can't easily leave either. But this creates a power imbalance. Like he's withholding information on purpose, and he's
because it drives his agenda.
And yeah, I mean he's kind of a dick. He's deceptive, and that deception sets the tone for everything that comes through the movie. And at the center of it all, you got Eleanor, as he calls her. That's her name, but she says to the folks, "You can call me Nell." And I'm thinking about Nell from Haunting of Hill House anyway. So that's
all I hear is "ta" and a win.
I don't know what you're saying.
That's from a movie Nell.
Oh yeah, the
with Jodie Foster.
I'm not even going to say what I want to say.
No, Jodie Foster was raised by a mom.
Could have drowned.
No, she had a stroke. Her mother had a stroke, which is why she had the slurred speech. And her twin sister lived out in the woods because mom was raped and got pregnant with the twins and ran away from the world and hid them away from the world. And she spoke funny because her mother had had a stroke.
Oh, I was thinking about Leonardo DiCaprio.
No, we're not talking about What's Eating Gilbert Grape, okay? When I hear Nell, I hear Tay and a win, and that's not anybody else's fault except for my brain. So
when I hear Nell, I hear could have drowned.
No, that wasn't his name in the movie.
I don't know what his name was because
I don't remember what his name in the movie. I remember Gilbert Grape as Johnny Depp, but we have gone off the rails.
Actually, really did have Down syndrome until they saw him on the red
really
carpet.
Did?
And it was like, yo, that dude's not retarded.
No.
And he didn't win the Oscar.
No.
Because you know what they say. You
never go full retard. You never go full.
You never go full high chromosome. All right.
Anyway.
We're back.
So Nell.
Nell's there and she's
supposed to be just another subject in the study.
Yeah, but she appears to be more. She's really the emotional anchor, though, of the movie. She's the star, I guess. She's the main character.
I guess it revolves around her.
I mean, to me, the star is Darkman and Catherine Zeta-Jones because she's really pretty. But then she married Michael Douglas and his old balls.
Oh, so my God.
Anyhow. Sorry. So yeah, she's shaped by, again, her years of isolation and guilt and the psychological weight of being the caregiver for her mother. I thought it was grandpa, but shows how much I was paying attention.
Well, it was either her mother or her grandmother, but I know it was a woman, but she's had her whole life and she's taken care of her. But
it sounds like it would be the mom.
Grandmother, it's one of those. I was kind of sleepy the other night, so.
I'm going to be honest.
But I remember more about this movie than you ever did, so.
I've only watched it the one time.
How you and I existed in the same space and we didn't watch this together is beyond me.
I don't know, but guess what? The time and a half that I did watch it, I didn't care. So I watched it this time.
But we carry on for you.
I watched it this time because we watched The Haunting of Hill House. And really, I wanted to kind of see. And I knew the movie and the show weren't really comparable in the ideal of the stories.
No.
But I wanted to see if there were any connecting pieces. So I was like, what the fuck? Let's do this.
Sure, why not, right?
So, and look, we're doing this for you. I suffered for y'all.
So,
So anyhow, she's basically got that guilt and that build up because she was a caregiver. To the point where she really didn't know who she was or who she is.
Beyond that, she didn't know what her identity was. No.
And from the moment they get to Hill House, it's not treated like a neutral space or a puzzle to be solved. It's aggressive. It's invasive. It's domineering. It's pressing in on the characters and asserting itself as a hostile presence that mirrors and amplifies Nell's internal state, rather than simply serving as a setting for a horror movie. So there's your act one.
Right,
boom,
man.
Bitch.
Sure. So I guess we'll just sidle on into act two.
Go ahead. Carry the team, son.
Wow, it's heavy burden there. So anyway, as you progress on into, act two, just slide on in. The house, of course, stops feeling like a place where you're slowly trying to figure out things, and everything, of course, becomes very active. And it's starting to come after all the characters.
Rawr.
People hear things, see things, blah, blah, blah. The design, of course, gives way to a full-on supernatural aggression. The walls are shifting. There's lots of noises. Hallways close up. Statues are waking up and looking at you and like, oh no, faces and like terror.
Statues were wild.
Dude, for real, the CGI on the little kid statues are just like.
Well, when Hugh Crane shows up later in the movie,
God,
and they give like that surprise
They're
look,
like, that surprise and terror all in one. They're just.
And all I kept thinking was that's where all the budget went. Right there. Because I promise you, they ain't pay Darkman a bunch of money.
And what's funny is I'm watching it again with you. I'm going, I remember they make faces, but I couldn't remember what the faces were. And I saw it again. I'm like, that was worth it. I'm
trying to think
worth the price
in
of
'99
admission.
when you look at who was all in the movie. It's Darkman. What I can't remember his name. He was Qui-Gon by this point, though, I think. Mm-hmm. And Catherine Zeta-Jones, I guess, was like a big star, and
Sure.
and Owen Wilson I think he had just come off Armageddon. So
Sure.
but I promise you, that's not where the budget went.
No.
It went towards those statues.
CGI was...
Those statues making faces. There's like put all the money in that, pay them more.
Man, that budget went all into that house, and basically that house wanted to make sure that that we could, know who exactly was inside of it and was running the show. So
that's what Michael Douglas says to Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Oh my God. So, and at this point, as the house starts acting out, this is where Nell's role starts to shift. And her role changes. So she's no longer just a basic person in the experiment. If you didn't know before, she is the main character of the story. At this point, it's really adamant.
Really unfortunate.
I know, right? Like, if you weren't aware from the first scene anyway, continue on. So she's just not another person in the sleep study, because the doctor's got them doing like little aptitude tests and stuff like that in order to see like their personalities, and he split them off into like different people, and he already knew Luke was the dumb one, and he knew that if he fed him false information, he'd spread it to the group, which would create hysteria that would of course feed his experiment. But the house clearly has also got a jonesing for Nell. It's got a thing for her. I think it thinks she's cute. I don't know.
Which
it's flirting with her, know.
The thing, though, too, with the original story is Luke is the heir to the estate.
But in this story, it seems like she is. But we'll get to that.
I just thought that was funny. That it's like Luke is the dumb one. They're like, but
we don't want to make him the one that gets everything.
He was just an Armageddon.
So clearly the house is just clocking her, and it's pushing onto her with this whole chosen one space where her isolation is getting moved around, and her destiny is moving with the circumstances. And from here on out, we lean really hard into the spectacles. Okay,
in the CGI,
the horror becomes very loud, visual, and all the fucking CGI budget you could throw at this motherfucker is just hurled into there.
Like, it's aggressively obnoxious.
They were like, how much of this new technology can we use? And he said, all of it.
It would be equal to today when people say like something's AI. It's like, I'm surprised as I'm looking at the movie on the screen right now, I'm looking at Owen Wilson's like, I'm surprised they ain't CGI him. Just for fun.
I mean, that.
Like, just do it.
Yeah, I mean, so, they use all these CGI moments to, signal danger, and of course, trading the psychological unease that the characters are feeling for intimidation that's meant to be seen rather than felt. And of course, you do see all of it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's more a matter of like, when you watch the movie, you see the effects, but you don't really watch it and feel the effects. Like,
no.
And mentioning again the TV series that was on Netflix that we covered the last 2 episodes. Go check it out, you guys. Episodes 107 and 108.
That was stressful sometimes.
But you can like watch that and feel.
Oh my God! Oh,
whereas like this one
moments. No, the most stress-inducing parts of this movie to me was that mirror room that spins around. I'm like, how do you find the door if the mirror's closed? That's terrifying. And then the bed that she sleeps in. Yeah,
well, all this shit was just kind of like, nah. Like, even looking at the house is just like,
the house is just way too much.
Who needs a house like that?
You know what that meant? He had too much bloody money. Okay, right. Even for back then, when labor was cheap and all that, and you could be that opulent, you had too much bloody money.
I mean, I don't know. It's just goofy to me. Big ass.
No, I'm not saying that's not goofy. I agree. Like, dumb. It, sir, I'm not disagreeing with you.
Just saying. Anyhow, hop into Act 3, where we really talk about destiny and sacrifice. So by this time, we get to the final act, and the movie stopped pretending there's any mystery left. Hill House is fully exposed for what it's actually meant to be. A predatory system that feeds on children. Like Epstein.
I still don't really get. No, it's like the wife couldn't have kids, so he kept taking kids from like the factory that he owned.
That's wild.
And like they were all like between the ages of 10, 11, and 12.
Yeah,
And it's like, and like,
age.
right. And like, they're all striked out in this like book that she finds in his like office behind a hidden wall in the library. Super cool. And it's like, but
obvious.
what's your fucking upset? Why'd you bring the kids home? And then why are they dead? Like, I don't know. I feel like there's more that I think,
like when,
you know what? I've never read the book. So maybe the answers are in there. Maybe you get some of that from the book.
Perhaps.
You know what I mean? Like,
but it's 1999. They don't give a shit about books.
Fuck if they do. They're just like, can we just make this make money for us? Yes.
So yeah, basically the house is a system that feeds on children, pulling people in through grief, guilt, and the deep need to belong, which, you know, again, that's where we get Nell. And this is also where she shifts in a big way also.
Yeah.
Like, she's no longer just being worn down by the house. Like, the story reframes her as the one person who can break the cycle. That, you know, that change, it kind of affects what the movie's aiming for emotionally. So instead of building toward escape or survival, it pivots towards transcendence. Sometimes you got to slow down when you say words. And this becomes kind of Nell finding purpose and peace through sacrifice. So
I don't think she needed to do that though.
Yeah, it like, I don't know, like,
I don't think
the way that we're rushing through the acts is kind of how the movie felt when you're watching it too.
No, it really is. It's like da 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 bam.
Yeah, it's like, oh, okay, that felt unearned. So, you know, whether that lands or not is really kind of up to how you're watching the movie and interpreting it.
It's fast paced. Once they get in the house and things starts moving, it's fast paced.
Well, yeah, like I said, it's on in the background right now, and it is just that you kind of see, like, in the beginning, like, once they get to the house, it is kind of setting up
How
a
long
frame.
is it?
I don't fucking know. Like, you know, I don't put those stats down.
Is it like one of those like 88-minute movies?
I would say, honestly, it's probably
like
just under 2 hours.
Yeah, it probably is. But it doesn't feel like it's that long.
Well, again, when you're here, like, you got Catherine Zeta-Jones on Wilson and the lead, Eleanor. I actually never knew her name. I've seen her in that movie Ransom with Mel Gibson.
Sure.
She was one of the kidnappers.
Oh, okay.
And then she was in The Conjuring. She was the mom in The Conjuring.
That's what I really know her from.
But like here at this point in the movie, in the earlier part, it feels like this is more fleshed out. There's like they're building more here, but once things get rolling, just all the special effects and all the spectacle kind of takes over, and it's like, okay.
That and all the 1990s acting, and
it just felt very like we're just kind of plowing through right now.
What's gonna jump out at us next?
So, and honestly, it didn't really have a lot of like the BS jump scares.
No.
So I applaud them for that, especially for its time.
There was like more like suspense moments where it's like, oh, the staircase is falling apart. Oh,
yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you had stuff like that.
You got like shadows and sounds and, you know.
Yeah, but this version of the story isn't really about horror or enduring horror. It's more about being transformed by the horror, which is what we get again with Nell.
Yes.
So
she's the one doing all the things. God, if it wasn't for her, she's got to carry this movie. Is she tired?
Yeah. Well, you know, The Conjuring. You know, she carried The Conjuring.
She does give up the ghost a bit.
Actually, the Ed and Lorraine carried The Conjuring.
Yeah, a little bit.
There's that shit. So anyhow, that's, you know, kind of your breakdown of the movie. Nell ends up sacrificing herself, and the house goes on, and then homeboy with the strong hand comes back and like sees the house is all fucked up and a car rammed into the gate, and he's like, yo, what the fuck? I leave these cats overnight and they do this to my crib, and they got a dead broad in here now. So, and
some dude without a head.
Yeah, it's like, yo, they decapitated the one dude from Armageddon, you know, the movie with the Aerosmith song.
Yeah.
So
anyhow,
so as we move on to a character kind of descriptor, if you will.
Sure.
We talk about Nell, Eleanor, Vance. Or would it be Eleanor, quote, or parentheses? Is that it? Eleanor, Nell, Vance?
Sure.
We'll do it that way.
Because it's like the nickname.
It's the nickname.
Yeah.
So Eleanor, I don't see where Nell comes from in there.
Just.
I'm looking at her name. I don't see how you get Nell from there.
I don't know. But look, how do you get Bobby from Robert? How do you get
Rob?
Dick from Richard?
If you ask nicely. You know. Yeah. I was waiting for that one.
Shit.
That underhand pitch.
Went right into that one. That's my fault.
I'm so happy. So Nell's already defined by the trauma before she sets foot into Hill House. So as mentioned before, she's coming off of years of caregiving and being burnt out and just dragging around this guilt that she never dealt with, and emotionally she's frozen. Like she's stuck in this version of herself that never really got a chance to really choose life beyond obligation. So when Hill House becomes an option for her, enters the picture, it's not just, scary or terrifying for her. It's kind of a mirror for her of sorts. The neglect, the control, the sense of being trapped in a role you didn't ask for, that's already there. And the house just turns the volume up on it. And that's where this, Nell, she splits from the book version. So the film gives her purpose, and Hill House doesn't just kind of consume her. It tells her, hey, Nell, you matter. We care. We hear you. And whether that comes off as genuine, empowerment or pure narrative convenience, that kind of depends on, how you want to view it, Mm-hmm. But that tension is the core of her entire arc in the movie. So, that's Nell for you. And then I just wanted to kind of go over the characters a little bit. Sure. Like I said, thinking about the comparison of the show versus the movie and in the book even too. So
the characters are kind of like a big part of the storytelling. So,
Well, yeah, but when you have so many different versions of things, those characters can get shifted. You have the book, and then you have the 1963 movie, which is pretty honest to the book, and then the 99 movie, which isn't so much.
Okay.
And then you got the 2018 TV series, which again isn't,
no, it's a lot different.
It's just taking characters, from the book and having a whole new narrative.
Right. It's still got a big house with some secrets and things going on, and then you got a host of characters.
Yeah. So that's where I like to look at all these things. So that's now I'm gonna leave you with the supporting characters.
We're gonna roll into them. Okay. So in The Haunting, the most supporting, most of the supporting characters really aren't there to challenge Nell's, main characterness, or to deepen.
Characterness is a word. But
it is now. And it's not there to deepen what she's going through. They're just mostly kind of they're revolving around her, basically, That's how it is with most stories. You have your main character, and you have your other characters that revolve around them, that push the story along and
Simple
everything.
Simple story, sure, but good stories, everybody gets it.
It's a little more complex.
Everybody gets on the playing field.
Right. But for this, they're just in her orbit.
Because it's 1999.
Exactly. So, we have Dr. Marrow, Aslan, right? Liam Neeson.
Well, I don't know what you just said.
Okay, anyway.
Darkman.
What is Darkman?
Dude, we're going to do an episode on Darkman.
Is that a movie?
Yes.
Is it a horror?
Horror adjacent.
Okay, cool. In the genre of side genre.
It's
side genre.
I think it was a comic book first. Or maybe it was a movie and then a comic book.
That's fine.
But Darkman, Liam Neeson played Darkman.
That's his character.
He got blown up.
He got blown up?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
And then he came back all bandaged up and shit.
Was it RoboCop? You still got to go to work?
No, RoboCop, he got, shot up and then he shot that one dude in the dick.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never seen RoboCop, so.
Dude, it's a Detroit classic.
I bet it is.
We got a statue.
Shut up. You have a RoboCop statue? You're fucking with me.
No,
what?
I don't know if it's actually up, but I know it was being made.
It was being made? So it was commissioned?
You go ahead and continue on RoboCop statue.
So we'll start with the doctor. Dr. Marrow, of course, is a very specific type of arrogance. He's so obsessed with proving that his own theories for his work that he completely just ignores the humanity of people and the cost of what it's, just human cost. So he treats everyone like they're just like little data points on his little plot sheets, instead of the people that they are.
Yeah, so go fuck yourself.
I mean, he is basically so far into his work that he's forgotten, that you have to pull yourself out of it and be a person outside of work.
Well, and also care about people.
Yeah. Yeah, they're not lab rats, okay? Like, it's a little different. Anyway, and then we have Theo, Catherine Zeta-Jones, but of course, should be basically our emotional counterweight. But unfortunately, the movie never really lets her go towards that role, even though she's sensitive and intuitive. And, she seems like,
They brought her in for star power and pretty.
I know. All the clothes changes. Like, she changes clothes so many freaking times, and she brings all these freaking suitcases. I don't know how long they were supposed to be there, but it was more than enough clothes.
Probably overnight.
No, I think it was supposed to be for at least a week, because the ad said like $900 a week.
Oh.
So my guess is that it was like at least a week or two.
Perhaps.
I mean, Nell came with the tiniest little fucking suitcase. Pitiful as hell.
Probably because that's all she could afford, though, which kind of
I know, like, she probably had very few like clothes.
Yeah.
It was very practical. Anyway, continue. So Theo's very sensitive, intuitive, but the story, of course, just doesn't give her the space to actually connect with Nell in that way. I mean, you see little bits of connection.
Yeah.
And, girlhood, whatever. But it's that the movie doesn't go in depth of anything. It's very shallow on the surface, moving on, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
And then, of course, then there's, Luke, Owen Wilson. Wow.
The dumb one.
Wow.
Like the comic relief.
A little bit, yes. He exists, like you said, as the comic relief. Okay. Just entirely, that's his role. His sarcasm and detachment, sound good on paper, but in practice, he just keeps deflating the tension throughout the movie.
Yeah.
And then right when the film, of course, should be like tightening up and everything, it cuts away like the dread.
And
so,
he gets his head cut off.
He makes his head cut off in it.
So it really cuts away.
It really cuts it away. More great. Like the lion's mouth ripped it away.
Dude, so yeah, there is the RoboCop statue. It's
Shut
on
up.
Russell Street.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
That makes me so happy.
Oh, the things you learn.
Like the things that make me smile.
And that's like a permanent installation?
That's a statue.
It's just there.
Yeah.
I mean, like DC's had a lot of statues come and go in the last few months that were just minor installations. So I didn't know if it was a permanent, like that's its home,
it's
or
RoboCop.
The Detroit ain't getting rid of it. They're like, we paid money for it to be here. It's staying here until it falls apart. Civilizations will fall and then rebuild, and they'll be like, who is this god?
Well, that would be a crazy thing though, right? Like they come back and it was like, they had like, it must have been
robotic cops. God,
it must have been serious back here. They had like cyborgs.
Yeah.
It was like, I bet they made that dude go to work after he got shot up.
Yep.
Oh, that's wild.
Yep.
He got shot up. They brought him back to life, or they kept him alive. This is like, you
owe us PTO.
He was like, you got to work tomorrow, right? Because we can't find someone to cover your shift.
Right, we don't have enough people.
The mean streets of Detroit are fucking rough like that.
Yeah.
And then what's her name from Carrie was Murphy, or was he Murphy? I can't remember. But she was his partner.
Oh, okay.
Not Sissy Spacek, but like the bad guy girl.
Oh, okay.
John Travolta's girlfriend.
That one, okay.
Yeah. It's fucking wild.
Wow.
She moved on up.
Did she?
From being killed in Carrie to being RoboCop's partner.
And then after that?
I don't fucking know. I'm moving on to things.
Okay.
Got him. Anyhow, so as we always like to get into with these episodes, we like to talk about themes. So some of the recurrent themes that took place here, we got trauma as a physical space. So Hill House functions as a metaphor for unresolved psychological damage.
No kidding.
And trauma, it's not an escape. It's, it's more inhabited.
It's lived in. Yeah.
That's at the inhabited.
It's very much a lived in thing.
Yeah.
For these.
That's what I said.
Yeah. I'm not negating it. I'm just
And the house remembers
agreeing.
everything.
Why is the house sentient?
Because that's part of the horror.
Like, how did the house become sentient? It's not just Hugh Crane. Is he the one basically controlling everything?
Yes.
And because of, like, all the damage and the other things he holds on to, it just kind of...
like in Scary Movie 2.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Huey. I'm watching Scary Movie 2 after this.
All I have in my head is it was just a booty call, so I'm just rolling through.
So basically, Hill House isn't just a place where terrible things happen. It is the trauma. Like, the film treats the house as a physical manifestation of unresolved psychological damage, like something built out of grief, guilt, and neglect that never fades with time. And that's the key ideal here. Like, trauma isn't something that the characters pass through or escape from. It's something they actively, like they live inside. It was a house, they actively live inside of this evil, this trauma. So Hill House doesn't offer healing, and it doesn't allow closure, and it never even lets you go. It remembers everything.
Yeah, Hugh Crane wasn't trying to let anybody go.
Like, he's got attachment issues.
He really does. I bet you he's got some mommy issues too.
I promise you he does.
Some daddy issues.
Like, whenever there's any...
Nobody loved him enough.
There should be something that we need to study. Is like all the slashers, like what's going on with their like mommy home life?
Like, what happened with your parents? Did you have both parents in the home?
Like,
how did they treat you when
honestly,
you did things wrong?
A lot of times in horror movies,
it's just the mom.
Yeah.
And they were fucking psycho.
Yeah. And if the dad was there, he was not kind.
No, he beat him, drunk, this, that, and the other. Yeah.
So, but yeah, every act of cruelty, every moment of suffering, it's baked into the walls, and that's what turns what's supposed to be a home into a suffocating space where the past feels permanent.
Yeah.
Forever. Like, permanent.
Forever, ever?
Ever? Anyhow, I'm going to let the mom here take motherhood, caretaking, and emotional consumption.
Jeez, just because I'm a female, you have to give me the female stuff?
Actually, I was doing it kind of alternating.
I know. It's just the way it just went. I'm razzing with you. I don't really care. I said,
that's fucking perfect, because who am I to talk about motherhood, right?
So,
Like, I pushed out a baby. It was hard work for me. Fuck.
Oh my God, you poor thing.
Dude, that couch hurt my back. Just kidding. My back was fine. I felt fucking great. I went to the vending machine, got a ginger on a honey bun. I had a good time. I was watching jiu-jitsu videos. It was fucking awesome. Until the baby came out and started crying. I was like, oh shit, this is real. All right,
She didn't cry that much anyway. So anyways, we're getting back into Nell. And, her identity, of course, is defined by, as we've said, care and self-assure. Like, she's your caretaker. She's going to make you feel like everything's all right. She's going to make sure everything is done like it needs to be. So anyway, then we got Hugh Crane, the guy who made the most gaudy house in the world. He's obsessed, of course, with these children. And is refrained as a monstrous paternal control, which is just weird. It feels very flat with the story, especially in the movie, and it's it's I don't get it. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know. Like, did the children die in the factory and he brought them home, and then he burned their bodies in the giant ass fucking fireplace and kept the ashes underneath? Sure. Which, by the way, just the ashes flowing everywhere, people breathing it in. It's kind of gross. Which, honestly, after all this time, I've learned, I think those ashes probably would have solidified in one big cement block. Because apparently that happens in urns.
Well, they talk about that with John Wayne Gacy, the bodies underneath his house that they found.
Yeah?
They started kind of like...
solidifying?
Together.
Oh.
So it took 2 years for some of those to be...
like, excavated properly.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
It sounds like a school word, but I'll go with it.
Dug up.
Yeah.
Is that better?
I like that.
All right.
I can spell that.
Very good. Okay. Care becomes a mechanism of your exploitation. So what the film's really doing here is turning the care into something that is dangerous. Care is supposed to be safe, soothing, but here it's not. Nell's entire identity, of course, is built around the caretaking of someone else, and to the point where she basically just doesn't exist outside of it. That's her whole being, is just in this one space taking care of things. And her needs, of course, don't matter. Her wants don't matter, as you can tell with her sister and brother-in-law. They're not trying to be like, man, you sacrificed everything to take care of them. Let's open the world back up. They were like, fuck you.
Honestly, her sister was busy dealing with Candyman, so I feel her.
I mean, I guess.
She had other shit to deal with.
she's basically saying, like, I don't got time for this, and everything about her life is secondary to the service. So, and with all that kind of like emotional self-erasure, it created like this vacuum, and one that the house was, of course, more than happy to step into. It was more than happy to kind of be like, oh, let's draw her in. I mean, it even like, I think basically the house was the one that called her and told her to look in the paper for the experiment.
Yeah.
That was like one little tiny thing that was like blipped into the movie real quick. And she was like, oh no, Liam Neeson, you called me and told me to come do this.
His name's Darkman.
He was like, yo, I never called you.
Yeah, he was like, what are you talking about?
I don't know what you're...
The first time I talked to you was today. Or,
right.
or
when
like
we met at the
here.
house, which was like 2 days ago.
Yeah, it was like what?
He's like, what are you smoking? Like,
that's
what?
when she was like...
I mean, the look he gave her of like complete, what?
And then that's when she made the decision to sacrifice herself.
She was like, I gotta die for these children.
It wasn't you. I must sacrifice
myself for it was the children. It was the house. Yeah, okay. Anyway, continue on. So...
Nell love the kids.
She do. And on the other end of the spectrum, we have, of course, Hugh Crane, who's obsessed with the children. And it's not about love or protection, but it's just all about control. Whatever the control situation is, I don't know. It's very vague. It's very surface level. They don't got time to go into it because they're too busy doing all the fucking CGI to build the story. Okay? It's all about the visuals. Mm-hmm. All right? All the budget went into the visuals and not so much the story plot. The plot of the story. Sorry. Yeah, I switched my words. So anyway. So his version of caretaking is the possessive, rigid, and ultimately, of course, he's just monstrous because I guess he does bad things and won't let them go after they die.
Well,
so
he killed them. Probably.
Right, probably. And when you put the two things together, the movie, of course, isn't just presenting care as nurturing or redemptive at all. It's presenting as something that's consuming. The care without boundaries stops being compassionate and it starts being predatory, so, and the system that feeds the on vulnerability instead of just healing things. So basically Nell sacrifices herself to heal the kids, to heal the house, and to rid everything of all the evil.
Well, I mean, again, caretaking, emotional consumption.
Right. She's like, God, I guess I gotta fix the problem.
Next, we talk about fate versus free will, which a lot of, again, was the whole stuff with Nell.
Right.
Like, Nell is told that she belongs to the house. The narrative flirts with destiny overriding choice, and it raises uncomfortable implications. Was escape ever really a possibility for her? Really for any of them, but more so her because, again, sacrifice. But if she doesn't sacrifice herself, I don't think the rest of them get out either. So.
I don't think none of them would have gotten out, no.
Yeah. Then they wouldn't have been a scary movie too. Well, one of the more uncomfortable ideals that The Haunting plays with is this tension between the fate and the free will, where Nell is told over and over again that she belongs to Hill House, not just in dialogue, but in the way that the story keeps boxing her in. The movie leans hard into the ideal of destiny. The house didn't just choose her, but that her path was already locked in long before she ever set foot on the property. And that's where things get unsettling because the film never really stops to interrogate what that even means. So if Nell was always meant to end up here, if this was the only possible outcome, then was escape ever really on the table? Or were we just watching a slow march toward an ending that was decided from the start?
Well, I mean, yeah, it seems that way.
I mean, it's one of those weird conundrums because it's again, if, one thing doesn't happen, how does that affect any other things and so forth? It's this is the kind of movie, even though they did the TV series in 2018, if they even did this version that they did here in 99 as a TV series, you might get a little bit more fleshed out stuff. But I'm going to be honest, I wouldn't want to see this for 10 hours. So
no. I mean, it seems like everything was kind of set in motion because of her 3 times great grandmother.
Yeah.
So she was basically in a way destined to be the one that would end up breaking the hold that he has on the house and the children. It was going to be somebody, and it just happened to be her.
And I wonder if that catalyst was the mother or whoever she was caring for dying. It was now
it passes on to her.
Now she's available. Now we can Now we can get her.
Now we can haunt her ass. The other one can't come to us because, stuck in bed. She banged the cane on the wall. Anyway, so moving on with faith being replaced by architecture. The religious symbols were stripped of theology and embedded in design. So, there was a little bit of ancient Egyptian and then a little bit of this and a little bit of that. So there was a bunch of, it was a mixture of eclectic, world styles.
Well, even the faces of the children that they had,
the wood carvings.
Yeah. All look like angelic, little.
Yeah, good, little angels, little cherubims,
I don't know what that means, but okay.
Okay.
It's just, how I'm built, son.
We have, of course, statues, angels, halls replaced, moral guidance. Everything has got opulence on it. So, spiritually, things become aesthetic rather than ethical. Of course, the ethics is out the window because Dr. Marrow is doing,
unethical stuff.
Yeah.
Whenever there's a problem, he said, just throw some fucking money at it.
Yeah. Yeah, there's that. Or, she's crazy. We got to get the hell out of here.
Yeah, she's like, I had an idea. And he says, witchcraft. And
burn her.
Drown her in a river.
So in this, faith doesn't really exist as a belief or a moral grounding. It's been hollowed out and rebuilt as the architecture. So all of the religious symbolism is still there on the surface, such as angels, statues, cathedral-like halls, but it's completely stripped of theology or of meaning. None of it offers any guidance or comfort or anything in the sense of ethical clarity. It's not there. Instead of faith shaping how the characters understand what's happening or how they're going to respond to the evil within the house, spirituality has been reduced to just pure aesthetics and Luke Wilson's bad-timed humor.
And decapitation.
That wasn't badly timed. That was perfectly timed.
I didn't say it was badly timed.
Oh, I said bad timed for his humor.
I was just saying his decapitation. Anyway. Period.
It's something to look at, but not necessarily something to wrestle with. The house looked, sacred, but it behaves like a predator because, Hugh Crane just be controlling everything. He is the predator. And that disconnect is, of course, the key. And the imagery, of course, suggests the holiness, but there's no conscience behind it and no moral framework. Just decoration, making something rotten underneath.
Gross. So
I'm sorry, masking something rotten underneath. Not making it. It's masking.
Still gross.
Yeah.
But either way, it's all spectacle.
It is. It is. Well, it's all look over here, not at what's important, Yeah. Don't look at the man behind the curtain.
So the next part of the themes is spectacle over being
subtlety.
Just being subtle.
Yeah.
I don't know.
There's no subtlety in that house.
No.
Everything is straight in your face.
Fear is communicated visually rather than psychologically. Horror becomes loud, kinetic, and explicit. Emotional horror is often drowned out by production design. And, again, when you look at the TV series, and not even just the TV series, but a lot of horror today, you get a lot of fear that's communicated more psychologically and less visually. You get horror these days that's less loud and very subtle, less kinetic and more of a feeling. So, not just completely compare this to the TV show, but just today's standards of horror is so much more different. It's so much more emotional.
Yeah.
Versus then.
I'll say that the TV series definitely had moments where I was heart in my throat, but the movie, no.
No,
no.
The movie just felt more it's like you said, earlier,
Mm-hmm.
it's
hokey, it's shallow,
yeah.
it's unearned. But the TV series, to me, I was genuinely terrified for that family. I'm like, what the hell is going to happen now?
I can watch the show over and over. One of my teammates over at the gym, Devin, mm-hmm. he sent me a clip from a page I'm actually following.
Okay.
He sent it from another Instagram account to another one of my Instagram accounts that I'm not following that page on. And it's a clip from Lost. Okay. And I told him, dude, I could watch that show over and over, but mm-hmm. the same thing with The Haunting of Hill House. I could watch the show over and over. It's just one of those things where it's you can watch it again and again and it still feels fresh. So, and it is because of the emotional pull that it has Whereas, like, again, the movie doesn't really give you that emotional pull.
No.
And I wonder, because I think when I'm watching it too, it was more of a chore. It felt like
For the movie?
yeah, versus like me saying like I want to understand. Because a lot of times I will watch movies to understand. So maybe if I sit down and like kind of watch it and try to absorb it that way, but it's still kind of a hard ask, because as you look at it, it's like there's just so much that's going on that doesn't really feel like there's much emotion after her mother dying and then her going to Hill House. You kind of get to this point where it's like all that's out the window. Now we're just again here for the spectacle. So, but
The TV show made me sad.
well, yeah, it was a very sad show.
I've only seen it the one time. It was too sad. It was too sad.
I've now watched it, I would say 3 times, 4 times.
Something like that.
I don't know. But anyhow, as we talked about spectacle over like subtle horror, one of the biggest problems with The Haunting is that instead of letting fear sit in the characters' heads or in that uncomfortable space between, what you see and what you think you might see, the movie puts everything right out in front of you. Like, the horror is loud, like I said, it's kinetic, and it's constantly in motion. Like, there's always something going on. Like, when you're looking at the house, there's always
Something's moving, something's doing.
Yeah, so, the walls move, the statues shift, the house is always doing something. Like, it's always announcing itself. Like I always say to Sophie, you got to announce yourself. You got to make some noise. Like, she like came down to the kitchen, and I ain't hear her. She comes around the corner. I was like, you gotta make a noise, because I'll throw something, and you ain't got good reflexes like that. So you gonna
She get hit straight in the face,
and then get mad at me. So
Yup.
Announce yourself. But because of that, like, the tension never really gets the chance to build. So any emotional unease that could have taken root gets drowned out by the production design, where the spectacle kind of takes priority over the atmosphere. And the director, cool guy, he made Speed.
Sure,
that's cool. Like, he wanted to impress you with scale and visuals, and that kind of overrode like trying to unsettle you. And when it comes to horror, that imbalance kind of makes it like real difficult. Like that's the difference maker. So you can't skimp on like the points of like unsettling somebody, where you say, hey, let's just give them like a big like jump scare. Yeah, I mean, that's cheap, but I want something that's going to make me think about it like later on. So I want to talk about production and the visual identity a little bit here, because even though we've kind of touched on this a bit, but just kind of specific, like Hill House is easily like the most impressive part of the movie when you look at the house.
Sure, that's where all the budget went.
Like, when you look at it from a production standpoint, it's impressive. What they did.
Sure.
Like, the scale is enormous. The sets are elaborate, and
I want to know how much of that was actually built, like visually to see, and how much of it's green screen.
Yeah, I don't know that they had a whole heck of a lot of like, so whatever they did is like, I think there was still like practical stuff, and then you could tell what the CGI was, obviously.
Because like everything now is like green screen. Like the whole, you'll have like a cube there, and it's like, no, that's a sofa. Like, what?
Then you have a cube there, and it's like, no, that's a car.
Yeah, you're like, what?
Like, it's a fucking SUV. But
you're like, all right.
Yeah. But like, you can kind of look at this and just see, there was real effort to make the house feel like an actual presence instead of just a backdrop that the characters walk through.
Oh yeah, definitely. They did that part right.
Yeah. Like a lot of that work is practical, which is, that helps. That goes a long way.
Sure,
but it's also layered with like the early style of CGI that was very ambiguous, and and it feels pretty dated today when you go back and watch it now.
It was top of the line then. They were so excited to use it.
It's funny because I remember seeing trailers for this and hearing about it being a big deal because of the effects. So that's where kind of the problem creeps in, is those effects. Like, the house, it feels like it's too much. The interiors are over designed and constantly in motion, and that's like there's almost no room left for your imagination to work. So instead of quietly holding the characters and letting that tension grow and build, like the Hill House kind of overwhelms everything in that frame. Like it dominates every scene, and what should feel intimate and unsettling ends up feeling loud and visually exhausting. Because there are points in this movie where I'm watching this shit and my eyes are just fucking feeling weird because like, God, there's just too fucking much going on.
You got like the ceiling twisting one way. You got the little cherubs doing something. You got the spikes coming down on the bed. You got like the ceiling coming down with a face and all these hands coming out of the mouth. Yeah. Like it's a lot of moving parts. And it was like.
It's like the ideal, I guess, is there. Like I guess they had like the right ideal of like what you're trying to do, but it's like maybe don't. So, that kind of opens the question, like, does visual excess kill intimacy and horror?
I mean, it can, yes.
Like, because if there's just too much going on, you don't really feel a connection to anything else. You're just here for the spectacle.
You're like, what freaking now?
Yeah.
So, I guess moving on to like what reception?
Yeah, the reception
legacy.
and all the, like, how did people like this movie?
All right, so, sorry, when the Haunting, of course, was released back in 1999. The critical response was, basically lukewarm across the board. But audiences, of course, still showed up, and the movie did exactly what it was supposed to do: make money.
Yeah.
So, and it did that. And over time, though, it settled into this like little odd middle space for a movie. It's not really necessarily remembered as like a horror classic, and it's not exactly forgotten. So, yeah. I mean, people of our time, if they saw it, they would remember it.
Well, yeah. I mean, like the when they would market it, the marketing for the movie, is like, again, you got Darkman, Owen Wilson, and Catherine Zeta-Jones. I mean, and like I said, she's put in there for the pretty effect. So,
right.
Because even when I pull it up on a Paramount Plus, like,
wasn't the groundskeeper, was he in Tremors or something like that? What was he in?
Can't remember.
That crazy old loon has been in stuff.
I don't remember him. So.
Oh God, my brain is like trying to remember. But anyway,
but he wasn't on the cover. He wasn't part of marketing.
No, he wasn't.
So but the marketing was like Catherine Zeta-Jones, who was the hot item then,
definitely.
Very pretty. So it's like people will see that and like, oh, okay, I remember this movie. And I'm going to be honest, I actually got mixed up with House on Haunted Hill.
Yeah.
And even watching that and watching this, it has a lot of the same like markers. So I was like, huh. And I believe that came out in 1961, maybe.
Something like that.
And then The Haunting came out in 1963.
Right.
So, again, both remake and originals kind of around the same period. So,
but basically the movie just kind of like, it just kind of gets revisited as a kind of like visual artifact from the era because of the CGI. And the studios genuinely like believed back then that the bigger sets, louder effects, and constant motion would make up for, lack of atmosphere and acting and plot.
Yeah. Like basically lack of everything.
Lack of all the things that drive an actual good story. Yeah. But okay.
Well, yeah, like in hindsight, that's where the movie becomes interesting. Like its biggest flaws end up being oddly instructive. The Haunting helped draw a line in the sand for what modern prestige horror would eventually push back against. So all the spectacle, all the big stuff, all the loudness, you don't see that now.
No.
Like over explaining the supernatural, you don't see that now. Over exposing the scares and confusing spectacle with emotional weight. Like that's why it works like well enough, as a comparison point now. Especially when you look at something like The Haunting of Hill House, which leans hard into restraint. Like it's character driven, like the uncertainty, that those exact elements, like The Haunting ignored all of that.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
like it was almost like they went out of their way to ignore it. So like, I don't know. So as we kind of wrap up here a little bit, what I do want to do is like like I know we've kind of mentioned the comparisons between the show and the movie, and like I have kind of a direct one because again I can't help but like think about Nell and then Theo specifically because like when I was looking at the movie, I was like, oh, you got Nell and Theo and Luke, and then it's like, oh, wait a minute, these motherfuckers aren't related.
No,
this shit sucks.
It's different.
But between the two, the Haunted and the Haunted of Hill House, what really stands out to me is how disposable the characters feel in the film. Like they're just there to experience Hill House, not to understand themselves. So that just always feel like kind of just empty to me.
Yeah, Nell in that version is basically told like your trauma means something because the house says so, which feels comforting, but also it's kind of like just dishonest. Yeah,
like when you compare that Nell to the Netflix series, like nobody's telling her she's special. Like she's just hurt. She's hurting, and that's kind of the weird thing about it. No one's listening.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And then Theo's a great example too, because in the 99 version, her psychic ability is just like a little gimmick, little throwaway. I don't even know why they mention it or even try to mention it, but in 2018 it's a burden, something that she has to protect herself from.
Yeah, like I think like it's more so from the book.
Probably so. Because again, I haven't read it, so I couldn't tell you. But that makes sense.
It's a bigger presence in the book, but then in the movie, it's just kind of like, like we'll pretend it's something, but it's not something.
Exactly.
And they moved on. But yeah, that's the difference. Like the 99 movie, it turns the trauma into destiny, whereas the series treats trauma like inheritance, like something you don't choose and you never really fully escape.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's true.
Like even though like even with this like movie, like Nell didn't escape, but it again didn't feel like the TV show. It felt more like again inherited. It was like they were haunted by this all their lives.
Yeah, so, it did not stop just because they left the house.
Yeah, well, at least for Nell, like
no,
like
not
everybody
her.
else, they all kind of moved on to their own different things, but they're still haunted by the events that took place at the house. Yeah. So, like again, inherited. This was just something that just kept going. So much so that Steven got a vasectomy because it was like, because he thought it was mental health. He was like, yeah.
I ain't passing this shit along.
I'm not having no kids because my mom's crazy and my sister's crazy. And my brother's an addict. Like, am I the only fucking normal one here? It was like, well,
he thought he was being proactive. Like,
yeah. So, way to go, Steven.
I mean, we don't know that something wouldn't have followed him if he had kids and it would have gone to the kids because we don't know.
Well, and the wild thing is he didn't even tell his wife. So, that's.
I feel like that's being dishonest.
That's Foxville right there.
Yeah, because what if she wants kids?
Well, she did.
Yeah, how do you explain that one? It's like, oh, sorry, babe. Yeah. I misguided you.
Yeah. But so yeah, either way. So as we close out, just off of even that, at the end of the day, the haunting it's not subtle and it's not really interesting in being subtle. It's not a restrained haunted house story, and it's definitely not trying to scare you in the quiet, lingering way those stories usually do. Like the movie's sincere, but it's like its intentions. Like it's also massively like overproduced and emotionally uneven, and you can feel it constantly trying to explain horror instead of letting you sit with it and experience it, on your own. So everything's kind of turned up to an 11, like the visuals, the themes, the mythology, and in that it leaves almost no space for your uncertainty or your ambiguity, like or discomfort or anything like that slow creeping unease that you get when you're watching a good horror movie. And honestly, that's what makes it such a useful comparison point when you look at later adaptations, or because I think there was another book, not exactly like Haunted on the Hill House. I think it's called The Haunted on the Hill.
Oh, that's very possible. Yeah.
I think it was can't remember. I was looking this up earlier tonight, but it was recent.
Okay.
I want to say 2023. So Yeah, like, when you get like later adaptations of versions of the original book. So, especially ones that, trust the emotional weight and the unanswered questions more than spectacle. So, that's kind of our viewpoint on The Haunting. Is it a fun romp? Not necessarily.
I mean, the first time around in 1999, sure.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I think for its time.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to take what it was.
Yeah.
But I don't know, even then, because like looking at all the spectacle again, like 3 years prior and a year prior and 2 years prior, you had Scream, I Know What You Did Last Summer, and Urban Legends, and these are all practical movies. With dialogue and story and script that kind of drove this. And this just kind of felt like, here we're going to make a bunch of big things happen and use CGI and technology to try to drive the point. And that's just not how you do horror.
True.
So, I mean, like, even for its time, doesn't even feel right. Because, like, there's so many other things. You had the faculty come out during that time where it was like, oh. Like, and even the faculty used CGI, but it was like in the appropriate moments.
So it's built for people who want to watch a scary story without it being a scary story.
It's built for my cousins. I promise you, all my cousins probably would say The Haunting was a good fucking movie. I swear to you.
You're saying they like bad movies.
Absolutely. My cousins all love bad movies. That's a fucking fact. Like, they always give me movie suggestions, and I'll watch it, and I'm just like, and I'm not like, aggressively rude about it. But I was like, look, I didn't particularly care for it.
Whoa.
But I could see why you liked it.
See, there it is. Not aggressively rude, but you're still rude.
Well, I said not aggressively. But again,
okay.
Like, again, I
will say the best version of this is Scary Movie 2.
I mean, Haunted of Hill House wins, but Scary Movie 2 is a close second because...
I mean, TV show was great. Yeah, but I mean, like, of the movie, the best version of the movie.
They both have tons of rewatch value. Tons of rewatch value.
So much.
That's what I rate a movie on, is will I watch this movie again? And that's not even fair, because there's sometimes I watch a bad movie just because it's like background noise or it's a comfort movie. Like, I watch The Blackening every single night because it's a bedtime movie. Like, I put it on to go to bed because, like, I've seen it enough.
It's so weird to hear you say that a horror movie is a bedtime story
it's
movie.
It's a horror comedy. It's not even really scary.
Yes, it's a horror comedy. I know it's not really scary, but still, you're just like, eh.
Well, no, I'll put Halloween on too. Like, but again, these are movies that I've seen enough where it's like,
I know
they're not like
you're
scary
not missing anything, right? All the mystery's gone, right? Yeah.
So it's whatever, but I guess that's all we got for y'all. So thanks for riding along with us, folks. You know what it is. You know what I'm going to say. We love you guys. We appreciate you. If you got any questions, concerns, criticisms, please feel free to reach out. You can always find me at So You Like Horror on Instagram. All the words separated by underscores. Or you can also find me at bjj.wiki on Instagram as well if you do jiu-jitsu and stuff like that. Or if you like my other podcast, Off the Mats. We're everywhere. We're all over the place. I mean, hell, we even review beers. So go check out the Clompton Beer Club. We do it over there too. But I say like lots of bad words there. I mean, I say bad words here, but I say like lots of intentional bad words over there. So if you're into that kind of stuff, go check it out. I wouldn't, but you can. And yeah, if you want to be on the show, you got some ideas, reach out. And just more so on Instagram. If you email me, I think you're going to be like a scammer. Someone emailed me recently, and I'm pretty sure it's bullshit. Like, because someone emailed Off the Mats, and I replied, and they never, like, this happened 3 times Off the Mats. Inquiries about being on the pod. They never replied when I replied to them. So I was like, And I actually reached out to my friend in Madrid, Tiana. Like, because it was like a black belt. It was like, apparently it was like, he has a podcast. Why would he have an assistant reach out to you about a podcast? I was like, I don't know. I'm just saying, it's kind of a big name. It's a big deal. But you do have a very valid point. Never heard back from them. So yeah, if you're going to try to reach out to me, just message me on Instagram. I don't even have like an auto message either. It's like you message me, I'm going to message back. Like, people are using auto messages now. Thanks for reaching out to me, or thanks for following, bullshit like that.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know those.
Bullshit. Like it's like brand new, like within the last week or two.
Okay.
So it's dumb. But yeah, either way, thank you guys. We do appreciate you. And I guess like, Sarah usually closes out with, you know how the outro goes. Like, but she don't like it. She don't like that she's the outro.
What is it again? I don't remember.
Like, see, she'll have to hear it. She can't hear it now because it's not going to play. But,
Aww.
see you later, guys, because we got to go. It's late. And I want to go watch Scary Movie 2. So,
Snoochie boochies.
Bye, bitches.
I think that's good for now.
The end.